Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and we're going once again into the Legend League, but today with a different army and a different setup. Today we want to talk about the Suilalo army, and there's so many different versions of Suilalo. Suilalo sometimes feels a little bit like Yeti Smash regarding how many different variations are out there. Today we want to take a look at the variation with the Super Goblins in the Blimp, but as I told you in the beginning, when I highlighted the first time the Super Blimp, or like the Super Goblin Blimp, we talked about that Giant Bombs might be a big counter to the Goblin Blimp. But with this setup of the 6 Barbarians and the 2 Minions, the delay in between of the Barbarians and the Super Goblins is way too big, which basically means the Super Goblins can never die. So this Super Goblin Blimp is always working, which is crazy. So you can always save your Royal Champion, your Warden ability to make sure you're getting more value, you're tanking some scatter shots, and that's what we want to try out today. So let's see if we can somehow make this army work, or if we're going to fail horribly. So this is going to be the goal for today, and well, let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. I hope you guys have great success with my base, which I posted yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, make sure to do so. I posted yesterday the base, which I used for the 1 week challenge, where we gained in 1 week over 700 trophies, which is pretty decent. So yeah, but now let's get started with the first attack. So the first attack, I have to say that like all of those attacks, they're against bases, which are like, this is the beginning of the new season. So obviously there are some bases out there which are kind of strange. So let's see how many of those we can triple and how many of those we will fail on. So this is going to be the first base, and one thing which I super like about this army is that you never have to go into the town hall. You can always come from the back, and the only thing which you have to do is create a pathing for your Lalo. That's like the main objective. The second thing is you always want to go for one of the heroes, like either the Queen or the Royal Champ, because you have one skeleton with you, and obviously you have the dragon from your clan cast, but this dragon is mainly like due to like for cleanup, for a bit of tanking on the back end, stuff like that. So what we're doing over here, we are using our King, Queen and Royal Champ to get rid of the enemy Royal Champion and get rid of some crucial buildings over there to create a nice pathing, because what we're doing over here is getting rid of most of the defending buildings which are kind of connecting this side. You can see there was like the Royal Champion building, and there's like elixir storage and stuff like that, which means like loons won't path over there. So we have a nice pathing into the town hall, even though the town hall is more or less the last building. So this is where the Blimp is coming in really clutch, because what we're doing over here, we're basically sending a heavy Lalo from the other side of the base. And whenever our 3 Lava Hounds are tanking, we can send in the Blimp. We can combine that most of the time, if we're not messing up, with the Warden abilities. So this means the Blimp will reach the Town Hall like 100%. And this is kind of the goal overall. On this one, I completely mistapped. I thought I already dropped my Blimp. And that was like the main thing. I now dropped the Blimp, which was way too late, because normally you want to have the Blimp deployed kind of early on. But well, let's see if we can still recover using the Warden ability now, which is obviously like kind of tricky, because we're getting now into the town hall. The Blimp is getting opened. The goblins are coming out. The goblins are crushing the town hall. Loons and the dragons are trying to overwhelm the back end of this base. We have tons of minions for cleanup, and this is getting really close, because as you guys know, in front of the town hall there are so freaking many traps. And this one was no difference at all. Now the tornado trap is even coming up. So this is going to be super close. The dragon is trying to tank everything. The warden is still alive. This one lonely archer tower is trying his best to defend this attack. But this should be still a triple. We have minions and lava pups at the bottom of the base. And this, even though we messed up, is a first triple of the day. So what we did over there, like what went good? The opener went good. The Lalo went pretty decent as well, but like I said, you normally want to use the Warden ability in combination with the Blimp to actually reach the Town Hall. And this one, the difference, like the time difference of the Loons and the Blimp was way too close. Normally you want to have the Blimp ahead, because you do not want to have the Town Hall damaging your Loons, like that's the main thing. And this was not the case on this one, so this was not executed perfectly. So let's see what we can do on the next one. On this base, we actually have like no choice regarding, you always have to be careful with your clan castle range, or like with the enemy clan castle range, because most of the time people are opting into going for like lava hounds, ice golems, stuff like that, which can only target ground. Which means if you're going into that with your heroes, the clan castle will get lured like 100%. But if you're taking the risk, obviously it's like a small risk, but if you're taking that and making sure that you're not luring the clan castle out with your heroes, then most of the time you can just ignore it, because like I said, you don't care about the lava hound and the clan castle or ice golems because you're attacking with air. Like, that's the main purpose of this. So what we're doing over here, even though we have the goblin blimp basically, we're going into the town hall to take care of that kind of early on. Our queen is following our king, doing more things over there. And the next thing for us is now we have to think about how to make the blimp still useful. And we can do that with just switching the siege machine to a slammer and having just an empowered loon basically on the back end. And we don't have the town hall anymore, which means once again we can use our warden ability wherever and whenever we want to go for. So what are we going to do next? The next step for us is to start with the Lalo, but we have a couple of options. I'm going for the option to come from the top side because I feel like we're getting really early into the eagle, into the enemy queen and stuff like that. The lava hounds should tank really nicely for our loons, the warden in behind, and now switching the siege machine to the slammer. So we have that on the back end as well. Now poison, since there was like nothing come out of the clan castle which is targeting air, there was like an ice golem and P.E.K.K.A in there, which we do not really care about. Now the warden ability to make sure that everything is staying alive, especially the skeletons which are supposed to take out the enemy queen. Like, that's the purpose of having the skeleton spell in your army composition. And now on the back end, like right now it's looking really good. Right now it's looking really good loon wise, but always remember, those loons are dying really quickly. So what we're doing on the back end, we're sending in the Royal Champion with our main loon group, because the enemy clan castle was taken out by our skeletons, or at least like making sure that the skeletons staying on the other side of the base, which means they're ignoring the Royal Champ. And now the last haste spell, even though most of the loons are dying, we should have the Royal Champion alive, and this means that we have another triple on the board for today. So this is looking really good. So on the next attack, we try to aim for using the blimp perfectly, because that's like the main idea behind the video. So let's see if we can make that, and let's see if we can actually get some value with that. And guys, always remember, if you're not going for the town hall, you want to come from the other side. So let's see if we can get that on the board for the next attack. This one worked out perfectly, even though we had to go for the town hall. The dragon was still nice for cleanup and tanking purposes. So that's never a loss. And well, let's get to the next attack. And I know this base is not even close to max, but it's all about showcasing the stuff. And I cannot choose which bases to attack at the beginning of the season. Sometimes you're getting bases like this, but even those bases you have to triple to somehow get the trophies in. So let's see what we can do on this one. The idea behind this attack now, obviously, once again, we want to get rid of the enemy heroes. Like, that's one of the main things. So what we're doing over here, we're kind of trading the enemy queen or our own queen. That's like a trade. And then the next step for us, we're sending our Royal Champion for the enemy, our king for the enemy Royal Champ. And then we're trying to use the king as a tank for our own Royal Champion. Like, this is kind of the trade-off. Then once again, we take a look at the placement of the enemy clan castle, because once again, we do not want to have any of the like ground targeting, defensing troops coming out. So what we're going to do is we're trying to do once again a cut for the pathing. We're taking out this expo compartment. What this does, we have a nice pathing coming from the 3 o'clock side and like pushing our Lalo into the town hall section on the left side. How exactly is this working? Well, I will show you guys, and once again, this time I will try to concentrate a little bit more on the timing of the blimp, because once again, we want to have the blimp taking care of the town hall before our loons are coming there. So what we're doing now, sending all of our loons, all of our hounds. We're not placing too many space in the beginning, otherwise the Lalo could have been too quick. And now we're sending in the blimp the blimp should be faster than all of our loons because, like I said, we're not using too many hastes right now. Like the loons are slowly but surely making their way into the left side of the base, and that's where we want to have our spells. That's where we want to have most of our damage and spell placement and everything. Now everything is slowly but surely getting into the right place. Warden ability as soon as the town is down, and obviously the warden is catching up to the loons. Rage left, rage right, and this is how we completely smash the space. We have so many spells left, and like I said, this is the crazy strength about this super goblin blimp. You can just use the lava hounds basically to tank for your blimp and make that the blimp always reaches the town hall. You could use the warden ability as well, but that's obviously like depending on the base. But on this one, this was a huge overkill, even though the base was on max. But I mean, we had even haste spell left. So this was, I think, way better example of how you can use this army and how you can use the blimp. And well, if you guys want to give it a shot on your own, make sure to try that. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was a lot of fun to get like to a different army since I used like Queenshot Hybrid for so long right now. So always nice to get like into the direction of a different army. This one was Sui Lalo. Now I want to ask you guys. I want to keep going with like the more strategic guides once again. Let me guys know, what army would you like to see next? Yeti Bats, Yeti Smash, Queen Charge Hawk Riders, I don't know. Let me guys know what exactly you guys would like to see. And well, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for another one. See you guys until then, and bye bye.